Happy Jobs Day, Friday, July 5th, coming to you from the Hammonds Tower. I apologize, I haven't done any of these just kind of unscripted videos in a while. We're really still trying to figure out how to make technology work to get our thesis out to you all. As you can tell, I'm not the greatest with technology as we go through things, but I do feel it's nice that you can see my face and hear what our current thoughts are and why we're positioned the way we are. Today was a jobs report. I've sent several emails. I don't know how many of you look at the employment data, but it's really important. The key thing here is that the feds have said in order to get inflation under control, they expect to get inflation down to 2% while keeping unemployment under 4.5%. I'm here to tell you that'll never happen. Never has happened. And you know my belief and thesis here. We are knocking on the door to some real troubles. We have been for a long time. I apologize for the variability we've had in our counts of up and down by much larger numbers than I would like to see. And we're working to get that under control once we get back up. But the reality is this is, I don't know how you say this. I want to remain professional, but the strangest times I've ever seen in this business. Data doesn't seem to mean anything. Money continues to pour into the markets regardless. And we happen to know where that's coming from. It's not from regular buyers. It's from people with political viewpoints. After the debate last week, I think we're going to see some changes. But let's just get to the data. We don't want to get into all that. So there's a few different things that come out today. The number one is the unemployment rate. I've got some content within the email if you want to look that way on charts, but this is just for me to go over it verbally with you. Really what you want to look at, when we're seeing what is the unemployment rate, we're seeing here, the figures. We've got a trend going up from 3.8% back in April to 4.1. So we're gaining 0.1% a month, and that's obviously an upward trend that we have going now. If you switch this over to a line chart, that would be pretty obvious. Unemployment is very important, just like I referenced in the text of the email. People don't have jobs, they don't have money, and they aren't able to buy things. Thus, you get companies like CVS, Walgreens, Cracker Barrel, the name's going on, Red Lobster going out of business, McDonald's closing restaurants in California. The consumer is not strong. I don't care what they say about jobs. It's all fake data. You'll see that. But unemployment is starting to go up to a significant level. If we could see it go to 4.3 at any point in time, and that would be a very negative market reaction. Let's talk about how they are, quote, manipulating the numbers. This is something that I keep harping on. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I'm not. I'm an optimist. I believe in America, and I think that we should be proud to be Americans. But these folks are trying to play us for fools every day, and frankly, it's getting to be very old. You've seen that all across the country, from France to UK to kicking out the current politicians and bringing in new folks. So I hope that things will change, and if you feel the same, you'll help us make that change. Let's look at just some things here. Today, non-farm payrolls come out. All this is way back in the day, there used to be farming jobs and non-farming jobs. Now, obviously, non-farming jobs are much greater. So we have non-farm payrolls come out today at 7:30 in the morning. And the number comes out, shows you here, 206,000 jobs. The way this works, every month there's a consensus. They reference analysts at banks and ask them, how many jobs do you think we would add? 185,000 this month, the number was 190,000. So the general group thinks 190 will be added. If you add more than that, that's considered to be good for the market. If you add less, that's bad for the market. So they had 206,000. You'll see represented by this bar here. The challenge is every month they report these big numbers, and then they go backwards to these other months and chop them down. And we'll see that referenced in the text here. So we had a downwardly revised 218,000 in May. So this is now reflected at 218,000. And this one's really important, but the data for May was revised sharply lower from an initial 272,000 jobs. So May was 272,000 jobs. Now it's 218,000. No big deal. It's in the past. Nobody ever talk about it again. All you will see is the mainstream media saying we added 206,000 jobs. It's crazy. So then the second revision, so April reading was revised down by 57,000 jobs. So down to 108K. And you see that's obviously a very low number. So these last 2 months, really what they've been telling us forever is the job market is strong. We keep adding jobs. The economy's strong. Inflation's coming down. Everything's going to be great. I've tried to remain muted. Listen, folks, all this is a lie. It's just a lie at this point. I apologize. I hope that I'm not offending anyone, but the data is continually confirming that they're just trying to sell us a story that's just not viable anymore. Unemployment's going up. So explain to me this. How does unemployment continue to trickle up? I don't even know if I'd call that a trickle, but how does unemployment continue to go up when payrolls are going down? It's because they come in and they tell us payrolls are a big number, and then they chop it off. It's really something. One other piece of data, and I'm not going to make this too long, but this United States ISM Services PMI. You don't have to know much about this, but it's the business activity index, they would call it. And what it does, it tells us just how well businesses are doing. We'll just keep it simple. But services is things like restaurants and non-manufacturing, we'll say. There's a manufacturing and then there's a services. But fell to 48.8, and they use the word tumbled, but tumbled to 48.8 in June of 24, sharpest correction since April of 2020. I think that this also is another indicator that we've really got some challenges ahead. Look at this, consistently lower. We had one big bump. Why? Kicking the can down the road to the debate. The debate last Thursday didn't really turn out so well for the current regime. Now I think we'll start to see some real data come out. I wouldn't be surprised if something really shocking comes out of that interview tonight with Mr. Biden, or something over the weekend. Bad news tends to hit on the weekend. Couple of other charts, and then I'll let it be for now because we've done plenty of text. We're going to continue to update you folks. My theory still remains true. This is not a good economy. All of the data underneath is not good, and it's just a matter of time. And when that happens, we will be doing very, very well. Blue line here represents the price of the transportation ETF, so transportation stocks. If we look at, if we look at what stocks are in the transportation ETF, which has been changed for their benefit of manipulation again. Strangely, Uber is the number one in the transportation ETF. Now tell me what Uber has to do with judging the state of the economy. I don't know. But all these others do. Union Pacific, UPS, FedEx, Old Dominion, all these folks are people that deliver goods. And as you've seen in some of our prior videos, over 70% of goods in America are delivered by truck. So this means a lot. When this investment breaks, so the blue line is current price. What you see with charts all the time, when blue line goes through yellow, yellow is the 50-day average price. So they take the last 50 days, add it up, and plot it. It becomes a line. When blue line goes through yellow, that's the first bad sign. Blue line goes through green, really bad sign. That means that the 200-day price average has been broken. Typically, you continue to go through. Once that happens, we can make this bigger, but you'll see it more on a larger scale here back in 22. So we're sitting right here on some key levels with the transportation index ETF, you would call it, and then the home builders. They've really used those two ETFs to continue to tell us that the economy is good. As long as home builders are building new homes or multifamily units, everything is fine. As long as the transportation index is doing well, obviously the economy is great, right? Well, that's about to be a story that's going to be hard to hold up as well. It's the same stocks. They're still trying to pump everything with technology. It really looks fishy at this point. I think that we're nearing the end of this soon, and I look for us to have a good run here. I do apologize for the volatility. We will get this thing going the right direction, and I think that's going to happen very soon. Any questions at all, always reach out. Look forward to talking to you all soon. Our future looks like we hold a group meeting. We would like to be targeting an August timeframe. Then we'll have folks in for our semi-annual reviews in October. Thank you all. Have a great day.